In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up and get started with the Universal Audio Apollo Solo and Twin interfaces. We'll go through initial setup, using the software, Universal Audio plugins, and some of the coolest features these interfaces have to offer. I'll also help you understand how Universal Audio plugins work differently from your typical VST plugins. This video is great if you're learning how to use the Apollo Solo or Twin, but it's also useful if you're thinking about buying one of these. This video will give you a quick overview of the most important features. I'll also give you some helpful tips on recording and, of course, let you hear some audio samples. During the video, I'll cover some of the differences between the Twin and Solo models. If you're interested in buying one of these interfaces, I'll add links to the best prices in the video description below. If you're new around here, I'm SanjayC. I make music production tutorials and gear reviews on my channel. Consider subscribing. I post a music gear news report every Saturday in which I highlight the latest in the music gear world and find you free plugins and samples. All right, let's get started. I'm sure you've already got your Solo or Twin out of the box, so let's get to the good stuff. First, visit the Universal Audio website and download the software. This actually installs the Universal Audio console software and all their plugins. Next, connect your interface to your computer and the software will walk you through the registration process and licensing the plugins included. By the way, you connect your Apollo interface by either Thunderbolt or USB-C cable, depending on if you're on a Mac or Windows. Depending on which interface you have, you may need to connect to power as well. Yeah, I wish these interfaces came with a Thunderbolt cable for Mac, but they don't. I'll put a link to the cable I have in the video description. I'm going to be demoing using the Mac, but all the concepts are similar on Windows. Connect your speakers using the outputs on the back and your headphones in the front. That's enough for now. All right, you're gonna be up and running pretty quickly. Let's get moving fast. I'm gonna demo the features using Ableton Live, but of course this works with other DAWs as well, Logic, Cubase, pretty much any DAW out there. Apollo interfaces also include Universal Audio's Luna software, which is Mac only. I'll talk about that later in the video. In your DAW's audio preferences, select the Apollo interface as your input and output device. Once you do this, you'll be ready to play and record from your DAW. A note about latency, because it's a bit different on UA interfaces, audio buffer settings only matter with other plugins, not the Universal Audio plugins. So I'd keep this setting at 128 when you're recording to minimize latency latency by other non-UA plugins. Okay, so now you can connect a mic or a guitar to your interface, select the input in your DAW and hit record. Let's do that next. Connect your mic. I'm using a condenser mic, so I'll need phantom power. The knob on the Apollo interfaces lets you adjust different things. Press the monitor button to control your studio speaker's volume, and press it again to switch to headphone volume. Press the preamp button to switch to controlling your input gain setting. While you're in the preamp mode, you can also switch to the other channel you're controlling, turn on phantom power, pad, etc. Right now, we're just going to turn on phantom power and adjust our gain a bit. You can monitor your input signal right away. All right, we're ready to record. I see the light on, but it took some time off from you. In my own skin, stood out over you, on the hunt for a little time. That sounds good, but let's make things a little more interesting. I'm going to use one of the included Universal Audio plugins with my mic recording to emulate some classic hardware. Now things are going to get good. All right, let's load up the UA610B preamp in the Apollo console software. You get this free with your interfaces. Apollo uses something they call Unison technology, which changes the way your mic works with the interface to record, as if you're using that original hardware. The Unison technology also works on guitar and bass amp plugins, even the ones included free with these interfaces. This is especially useful for recording guitar with an amp sound with no latency. This is a big reason people like the Universal Audio interfaces. All right, let's check out the recording. I see the light on, but it took some time off from you. In my own skin, stood up over you, on the hunt for a little Sounds different now, right? I see the light on. I see the light on. Let's pause here for a second because I want to make sure you understand something special about these interfaces and how they work with Universal Audio plugins. Universal Audio plugins are different from your DAWs plugins or other third-party plugins you use. Other plugins use your computer's processing power. Universal Audio plugins use the computing power built into the interface itself. So when you load up a Universal Audio plugin, it isn't eating up your computer's processing power like other plugins. There is, of course, a caveat. UA interfaces have their processing limits as well, so there's always a chance that you'll run into limits of how many UA plugins you can run simultaneously. You can maximize the number of UA plugins you use by either recording with the plugin or record using a Unison preamp. That way, you can remove those plugins that you don't need after you record. You can also insert UA plugins on sends or returns so that you're using one UA plugin on multiple tracks. So back to the plugins. Whatever plugin you load in the console application insert section, you'll have the option of recording it or just monitoring with it. Sometimes it's nice to just have an effect in your headphones while you record, but you may not want to record it and commit it in your DAW. If you just want to hear the effect when you're recording in your headphones, you can select MON or monitor. If you want to commit that effect to your recording, then select record. You can also add effects to the auxiliary channel and monitor that as well. Now, I usually use UA plugins right in my DAW. I don't use them on console that much. Record your vocals or guitars and then add effects, compression, whatever you want later, and you can always change it. So you've seen me use Universal Audio Console, apply effects in Console, and also in Ableton. What about Luna? Luna is a free DAW recording software included with all Apollo interfaces. Well, all Mac Apollo interfaces because Luna is Mac only for now. It is a full-featured DAW, so if you don't already have another DAW, give it a try. It's got some nice features and the instrument sounds are really top-notch. I actually have a walkthrough video of a song I created completely in Luna. You can watch that video here. Hey, if you're recording songs at home, you should be releasing them yourself. DistroKid, the sponsor of today's video, makes that really easy. You can upload your music from your computer at home so people can listen on Spotify, Apple Music, and pretty much everywhere else. DistroKid distributes your music to all the popular platforms all at once, and they'll collect earnings from all the platforms so you get paid for downloads and plays. You can even add lyrics so that when your song plays on an Instagram story, people see your lyrics. I know you've seen this before. It also works on Apple Music. One of my favorite marketing features of DistroKid is Hyperfollow. Your unique Hyperfollow page allows you to promote your music anywhere you want to share the link. I've actually created 2 dedicated videos on DistroKid to give you all the details about how it works, how you upload, and how you get paid for plays. You can watch those videos here. If you're ready to get started with DistroKid, you can use my link below for 7% off your first year of membership. Okay, I want to talk about some key differences between the Apollo Solo and the Twin, or Twin X. The first major difference is the processing power. The Apollo Solo has one Shark DSP chip, which really means you have a lower limit of the number of Universal Audio plugins you can run simultaneously. By the way, I can't really tell you how many plugins you can run at the same time because different UA plugins use different amounts of processing power. The Apollo Twin interfaces have either duo core or quad core chips in them, which lets you run more plugins simultaneously. If you plan to record small projects at home, or if you don't mind being a bit conservative with the number of plugins you run at once, the Apollo Solo should be fine. You still get the same awesome preamps, excellent software, and access to all the Universal Audio plugins. I have found myself maxing out on the Solo, but I wasn't really trying to be careful at all with the number of plugins I was using in my project. The next difference is the ability to route your sound to external hardware on the Twin. Now, if you don't have external gear, this may not be that interesting to you, but it does open up some options in the future if you do decide to get outboard gear like a preamp, compressor, or external effects. Honestly, I have this compatibility on my Apollo 8, but I don't use it that much. The Universal Audio plugins and plugins from other companies are more than enough for most people. Another interesting feature on the Twin is the optical connectivity. I've used this to connect other gear like other interfaces to the Apollo, which has increased the number of inputs I have. It's pretty useful, but if you're using Thunderbolt, you can connect more than one Apollo interface together to increase inputs and use them all together anyway. Yeah, that's more money, but I've been using this setup for a while and it's really nice, I have to say. That's it. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Keep making the music you love, and I'll see you on Saturday for my Music Gear News Reports. Hey, if you're just getting started with music production, check out one of these videos next.